Hi there, it's Paulie here. So, I've told a lot of tales, I guess, about how screwed up the furries are. I haven't told you some of them because this is about funny tales and not the dark ones. Why was I involved with these people? Well, because back in the early days, they were so much fun. To walk into one of those conventions, now I've told you they're all full of movers and shakers and artists and writers and whatever. Yeah. These people are also deranged in the good way, which was what made them completely different from, say, a games convention. People were turning up and they got their games and they got their tales and they got their fun, and that's great. You turn up to one of these furry cons. Out in the car park, there'd be a bunch of guys, and they would be playing baseball. Why are you playing baseball? As you turn up, says, no, they've got an Alf doll that is filled with basically pet meat. And the idea is they're playing baseball, but the idea is to hit Alf hard enough so that he explodes while you're playing baseball. So, okay, I'll leave you people doing it. Walk into the registration desk. Yeah, at the registration desk of this one con, they have a giant bellmouth jar, and in that is a Tickle Me Elmo doll. However, the doll is completely submerged to some sort of liquid. As part of their charity thing, what you've got is a contest, and it's tequila. So guess how much tequila it took to fill Elmo's jar. And whoever gets closest to the amount will win the entire jar. And the money was like, $1 a ticket or something. It all goes to the convention charity. But the tequila is now this hideous color because the dye on Elmo's fur has kind of leached into it. So it's just this kind of hideous neon color. But the guys at the registration desk said, push on top of his head. What? Push down on top of his head. Push down until he said, no, he still works. Check it out. And push the top of his head, and down in the jar, this thing's like going. And that's what these cons were like. You'd walk in there, you'd get to the trade tables. My friend Shep would be there. Very serious sort of guy, very funny guy, but, the very deadpan. And he'd be sitting there, and he's got a Teddy Ruxpin doll. For those too young to remember, Teddy Ruxpin was it's like a somewhat roboticized toy bear, and it had these mini CDs that you could put in, and then the thing would animate. The eyes would open and the hands would move, and hello children, I'm here to tell you a story. Once upon a time there were, but there were sound triggers, which is what, and electronic triggers on the disc, which would make the eyes open and the things move. Shep, bless his cold black heart, has found that if you recorded various death metal songs onto mini CDs, you could put them into Teddy Ruxpin, and it would play them and trigger off the eyes and the mouth and the hand and the head movements, but kind of almost at random. But also the mouth will kind of move to kind of mouth words. So she's just got this thing there next to him, and as you go, oh, look at him, and Teddy Ruxpin would be like, you total bastard. I went to another con. Someone's got another roboticized toy, and it's one that's supposed to have, like, it's holding up a piece of cloth, and it goes bing, puts it down, goes peekaboo, peekaboo. And what they've then done is cut off the fur around the thing's face and remove it. So now there's just a plastic skull. Now they've taken some sculpins and they've made up way more of a skull, painted kind of blood and everything around the edge of this, and removed the cloth that's in this thing's hands and used the fur that they've peeled off the thing's face, but have painted the inside of it all with, blood and sinews and everything on it. Painted this whole up. So now this thing's basically peeling its own face off. Peekaboo! Like, you total bastards. So this kind of random mayhem was what I love to see. You go down the corridors at night, and there'd be like 4 or 5 people standing in a row with their arms held up above their heads outside. What? And what? Have you seen any guys holding what do you call Nerf guns? What? Have you seen any guys holding Nerf guns? What? Lines of guys holding Nerf guns. Have you seen any? No. Okay, so these guys all go trump, trump, trump into the corridor, all turn in a line, trump, 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 all with their arms above their heads, and you suddenly realize, oh my God, they're playing live action Space Hulk in the corridors. This makes perfect sense to me. There would also be art sabotage parties. People would put up posters to advertise room parties. That's a habit that's died out for all kinds of cons, actually. I'd like to see everyone get back to it because it was way more sociable. But Craig, if you're out there, I remember a friend of mine did a fantastic poster for a party, and it was in the Navy room at a hotel in San Diego. And this usually very straight-laced person has put a bunny character kind of leaning on a female bunny character leaning on a periscope assembly for a submarine there, with the captain's hat turned backwards, just looking back saying, "Arr, stand by to flood both tubes." I was like, oh God, no. But people would sort of get together about 2 a.m, make photocopies of some of these, and they would kind of, take white out and pens and whatever, and modify versions of these to comedic effect, which were just hysterically funny. But there was also a habit of bringing evil books along. People would find really stupid kids' storybooks and would likewise modify the art and the talk balloons so that it was telling a completely different story. So, like, someone's just done one about it's supposed to be some unicorn that's has lost its horn or something, and they'll just turn these into ridiculous soul-searching books. But I think the prize was won when someone went to a local service station and comes running back, and they've got the book was Mr. T Visits the Petting Zoo. It's like, no, this stops right here. It says, oh, come on, this is a gift. It's like, no, this stops right now. So yeah, there was definitely a liveliness and idiocy which was very party oriented. There was one con there was an immensely tall hotel. It was in the middle of San Francisco proper, and people would make they took masking tape and made body outlines as if the police have found, bodies on the floor and have outlined them for the forensics teams. But the outlines they put there is like, it's pretty obviously, or this one's a centaur. Yeah, this one's Jar Jar Binks, etc. So they're just having good fun. Shit, bless his cold black heart. Okay, what this guy would do. You get all the expensive kind of lobby art at some hotels. Sometimes it's even got like a price tag on it. This could be yours for $4,700. He had a hand scanner. He could run over things and scan it. So he'd run up to these things and scan them. And he'd bring a sizable printer along with him. So he'd print out a real size version of this art. Then they would kind of vandalize it and modernize it and whatever, put stuff in there. Anime characters peeking out from behind the hills, giant robots striding through the middle of this beautiful landscape, the Starship Yamato cruising above the city. These are, because these are full-on professional artists. They're just painting all this stuff, and it looks like it's supposed to be there, but it's like a what the hell moment when you saw it. But then he'd take these things and would put a little bit of blue tack in them, and he'd put them on the actual frames of the actual lobby art and kind of carefully blue tack them there. So to a casual observer, it looks like someone's actually vandalized the lobby art, as opposed to this is a piece of paper stuck over the top of it. So it's like, yes, of course, hotel management would until they would find out that no, this is all just the convention is screwing with them. I loved and adored that kind of grateful I wasn't on the committee for some of those runs, having to deal with the hotel management shaking their fists. But it was all harmless idiocy, and that was what was great about it. No one harmed, just kind of cool practical jokes, great fun. I miss that energy. And that's why I was kind of a part of it in those early days. It was a place for creative, joyous nut jobs. It changed its character, as things do, and I'm afraid now it ain't this at all. But them was the days. We got some fun and games happening in some of the games conventions that I went to, which, I have told tales and will tell others. But yeah, that furry crowd was pretty damn special. Anyway, cheers everyone.